Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our channel. Today, our discussion revolves around one of the greatest works in literature, if not the greatest. And today, with me is Ali Zaka, and our topic of discussion is
Hamlet, as I'm always here, not today with you. You are with me today.
yeah,
Finally, back from the hibernation zone. We wanted to discuss this play when we first started this channel back in February 2024.
yeah,
We had already discussed one of the greatest plays ever, Oedipus Rex, and then we wanted to discuss and analyze Hamlet, why it is considered Shakespeare's greatest play ever.
yeah.
Do you believe it is Shakespeare's greatest play ever?
I believe it's not just Shakespeare; it's the greatest play ever written because of its enduring relevance across cultures. Universal themes such as morality, revenge, justice, indecisiveness. These themes resonate across generations, across cultures. So its timeless nature, its relevance, that makes it one of the greatest plays. Moreover, it's psychologically deep. It's philosophically complex.
Yeah, it's psychologically so deep that I believe Harold Bloom once said that Shakespeare has done almost
He
the
has
impossible task.
he also said that he invented a human through Hamlet. Hamlet is not just a literary
This
figure.
is an impossible task to create a character who is so full of contraries, who is so full of opposites. For instance, he is that introspective genius. You look at
Yep.
him; he's like an introvert.
Intellectualism is just sensational.
But at the on the other hand, you can see if he is decisive as well. You see philosophers, wisdom banishes action, but at the same time he's the reason 8 people die. So he's a very dangerous individual.
Yeah, he's so dangerous that he indirectly or directly he became the cause of all the deaths in the play.
Yeah, exactly. And with Hamlet, you realize that Shakespeare, he created humans. Why John Keats used to love Shakespeare? He used to love Shakespeare because he believed Shakespeare had negative capability. For instance, he was able to
Empathize, of course.
empathize with his characters, walking in their shoes. So more often than not, you see perfect villains, you see perfect heroes, but with Shakespeare, you see characters who are a mixture of
And
both.
and A.C. Bradley, I think he said that it's a tragedy about character. Shakespeare's Hamlet is a pure tragic hero. He
Yeah.
has created a tragic hero. So yeah, we were talking about its greatness. So these are the things that resonate to us. Of course, we think about committing suicide. We think about what is wrong and what is right.
Exactly.
Moral
So,
ambiguity.
his soliloquy, to be or not to be, it always remains relevant.
Yeah.
Look at his verse, to be or not to be. That
That
is
is
the
the
question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings
Yeah,
arrows of gracious fortune. So, what is he trying to say?
This soliloquy tells us that his inner conflict, and
Exactly.
he remains paralyzed by due to his excessive contemplation.
Exactly.
We-
But more often than not, humans they are stuck here whenever they are going through existential crisis, or whenever they are dealing with trauma, intense trauma. This is what they are going through. At one moment they want to commit suicide.
Yeah,
but at
and
the other moment,
he wanted to commit suicide, but because his line when he said
Yeah, he was a Christian, huh?
everlasting had not fixed
so basically,
self-slaughter.
Or that this sullied flesh would melt, thaw,
Yeah.
and resolve itself into dew, or that the everlasting had set his cannons against
And
self-slaughter.
when we contemplate suicide or something like that, we also are reminded of our religious obligations.
Exactly.
And exactly when he
but
says,
in this way, Christianity and Islam, they are very close, because both the religion, almost all the Abrahamic religions, in the everlasting creature, the God. It is prohibited for
yeah,
the
and he wishes everlasting had not fixed his canon
yeah,
of
yeah.
self.
So he would have committed suicide were it not for his religious upbringing. So another thing that is great with Hamlet is the way Shakespeare has handled the topic of madness.
Yeah, unbelievable. And he, I think he draws a blur line here between what is insane and what is sane. Because of course Hamlet feigns his madness because he wanted Claudius to, he wanted him to admit that he committed the murder of Hamlet's father. But there are moments where it definitely seems that is he mad or is he feigning it?
So there was an essay I read a long time ago. It was, I guess, by Maynard Mac. So in that essay, he was trying to explain how when we wear too many masks, when we try to fake or feign something, there comes a time when we lose our identity. So I believe Hamlet goes through that as well. He forgets who he truly was, whether or not he was mad. So I don't know. Some say he really did go mad when he saw that ultimate
It might
betrayal.
have been a possibility because when we see how harsh he, of course, there are other reasons of his harsh treatment towards Ophelia, but one of the
That is the thing. He's utterly incapable of loving any soul, any other soul.
because
So,
his inner conflict does not allow him to.
Look at the contraries as I was explaining. So this is unique with Hamlet. I might have read thousands of characters in literature. I don't find a single character who is neither a narcissist and nor a person who can love others.
Yes.
No, it's almost impossible to have a person. You're either a narcissist or you love others, you empathize with others.
And
But
when
he
we-
cannot empathize with others, and he is not even a narcissist. He doesn't love himself.
Yes, he does not.
And this is very
And
strange.
when we look at Hamlet, we know that it seems that he is a human. Shakespeare has created a human. It's just not a literary figure. It's a human, and that's the reason why A.C. Bradley ranks Hamlet as one of the greatest plays ever written, but not by Shakespeare but overall.
But why does Eliot say that it's not his best work?
Okay, Eliot calls in Hamlet and its problems. He labels Hamlet, sick Hamlet, and the play as an artistic failure. And his unique concept is the objective correlative. And in objective correlative, we try to understand it as the objects, events, or circumstances. He believes in Eliot's opinion, Hamlet does not, fit in these
So
circumstances.
basically, it says
So-
that when you look at his madness and the way he acts throughout the play, it doesn't seem justified.
Yes, and
when you look at, for
he
instance,
criticizes Shakespeare for not shedding light on the external events.
for instance, you look at he compares it with Macbeth, with Lady Macbeth's guilt or Macbeth's inner conflict. That seems justified. But once again, I would like to quote Harry Bloom. He said this was Eliot's worst moments.
Yeah.
One of his worst moments
Of course,
as a
and
critic.
I agree with Bloom here because it does not seem justified or justified towards Hamlet.
I believe.
I do believe that
remember-
Shakespeare became emotional while writing this play.
Of course, you look at his plays. I guess Hamlet is the first play where he becomes deeply philosophical, and in this play you can see his pain. I
Yes.
believe this is the only play where you can say there are autobiographical
Yes,
elements. There's
subjectivity.
His son Hamlet had died,
Yeah.
and look at the name Hamlet. So in this play, and when Shakespeare, he was trying to be objective. Okay, whenever he wrote a work,
But Hamlet got out of his hand.
Yeah, I believe it slipped out of his hand, and that is why you find that abrupt ending.
Yes,
Uh,
and the whole play is fantastic, but the ending is abrupt. It's just, and that is the reason why, because he just wanted to
And
end it.
it's his longest play as well, so
Yeah.
it was getting out of hand, so he had to end it. There was a moment when I believe in the fifth act you can see there is abruptness. Why? Because I believe there was a time in the play when Hamlet was dictating Shakespeare, not
Yes,
the other way around.
definitely. So it just contributes to his greatness.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
greatness of it.
And there's an other concept with regards to I believe People have written books, the
And
PhD,
there have been a
numerous.
lot of criticism, and one I find very interesting. It's a controversial, interesting, Freud's.
Oh,
And
come on.
so basically he calls that Hamlet's inaction is not because of his inner conflicts, not because he's indecisive, not because of his moral ambiguity. It's just because of what. So
I believe this was one of Freud's worst moments as a psychologist, as a psychiatrist, or whatever you want to maybe call him. Goodness me. You look at don't find any evidence to support his claim. He does not back his claim with the solid evidence. You look at the way he treats his mother, and when she dies, what does he say? Wretched
Ratchet
you
Queen.
and you. Come on.
So
That has to be one of the biggest jokes of all time, and I guess Freud, that was the moment where he should have tried to avoid
I believe
talking
it's a
about this
stain
particular.
on the brilliance
What a
of
joke!
Hamlet. So
What a joke! So Freud, always say that whatever we go, it's pseudoscience for a reason. But
yeah.
with Hamlet, come on, it's a lot deeper than what he tried to think about. What can I say? He's Freud. Whatever he says is controversial.
Yeah, and that he just took it too far with Hamlet.
So with Hamlet, you've got some of the greatest quotes from "If this be madness."
There's method in it.
So method in madness. So I believe.
And Hamlet, he just you talked about his hate for him, and that is evident in his soliloquy when he said, "What a rogue and peasant slave am I."
Exactly.
And he chastises himself there because of his inaction, and he sees when he sees 14 brass, no, he said we were talking about an insignificant land in Poland, and he said he's fighting for an insignificant thing, and I have to feel a moral obligation, and because of my inaction, he hates himself there. So
So when we are talking about Hamlet, it's like it's a deep ocean, and
yeah,
what you can discuss is just a drop.
yeah.
And we can continue to discuss more and more with regards to this play. But I know my audience, they don't even listen to anything that exceeds 30 seconds
So yeah,
around this play. So last few moments, why do you believe readers in the 21st century should read Hamlet?
because the problem Hamlet faces, all the problems he's facing in that play are faced by us.
Exactly.
So,
Universality and timelessness. This
you know,
play always will always remain relevant as long as there are humans.
there is guilt, there is moral ambiguousness, and the moral ambiguity and inner conflicts. These are all the things study of man. So these things remain relevant. They will always remain relevant.
Exactly.
So
And some of the quotes that he wrote in this play, they will remain timelessly relevant as well. And you have to understand why he wrote all four pure tragedies. So without Hamlet, you don't have the other three pure tragedies: Othello, King Lear,
yeah.
and Macbeth. All those painful tragedies, all those painful works, they all come after Hamlet for a reason.
Yeah, and not to take away anything from those other great tragedies, but when we look at them and when we compare them with Hamlet, we feel that there is a difference between the greatness here. Because when let's talk about.
But I guess greatness is a subjective thing.
Yeah.
All those
Yeah,
works are
what I'm saying is that Shakespeare in Hamlet delves deep into all the issues, because when we talk about King Lear, his demise is what we say hurried, or not too philosophical. When we talk about Hamlet, it's
I guess there is philosophy in Iago's character as well,
Yeah.
in Othello's character. But I don't believe we should delve into these comparisons.
Yeah.
But some say that other plays are they seem
Yeah,
more
some-
mature.
some-
You look at the plot of
and when
Othello,
we-
and you see.
I have read critics ranking King Lear above.
Yeah,
Hamlet.
yeah. So it's a subjective thing.
subjective.
So Hamlet still remains relevant because the way Shakespeare portrayed that character, and
What I was trying to
because
say
of his
that
language as well.
What actually I was trying to say that the themes in Hamlet are, they are timeless. They will always remain relevant at an individual level, at a societal level. If you talk about we can talk about a lot of things. We can talk about political corruption in the court of Hamlet.
Something is wrong
Or
with
in
the
the
state
state
of
of, so
Denmark.
there are a lot of things, and when we look at individual level, it's relevant. When we look at collective as a societal level, it's still relevant. So that's what I'm trying to say, that Hamlet will always remain relevant. And these are the instructive things of Hamlet. But it's pure entertainment.
Yeah, with Shakespeare, you find this
Yeah.
perfect mixture where a writer is trying to remain didactic and also providing you with delight that a great art promises.
If there is lesson in each line, there is also entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. This is what is unique about great art. It promises delight, and it promises some sort of lessons that you can derive. So that is why I believe everyone should read Hamlet. Every person who loves
So,
literature.
from a subjective opinion, do you believe it is the greatest play of all time?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. But if somebody says that Sam Hamlet is the greatest play of all time, I'll understand why is he saying that. That is so great.
It is just like Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah, exactly.
If you pick either.
Exactly.
So, if someone comes to you and say, no, Oedipus Rex is the greatest play.
You can say that it is a play with the greatest amount of amazing quotes.
Yeah.
You can say. I don't believe there is a play where you can find as many quotable lines as you find in Hamlet. That is what you
And
can
I
say.
believe, I don't think there's another play where you find all these elements, psychological depth and philosophical complexity.
Once again, it's a subjective thing.
Yeah.
Look at all the Greek plays.
Yeah, they are, of course, plus we can.
So you can say one thing categorically, that this is a play where almost 50% of the lines, or maybe 40-30% of the lines are quotable, and you don't find these things in other plays as well. That is why I'm saying this is where Shakespeare.
And the greatness of this play is that if someone ranks it as the greatest play of all, no one criticizes that person. You must have had your reason, of course.
Yeah. So this is the greatness of Hamlet, and that is why I say everybody, any person who loves literature should read Hamlet.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.